All right, so I wanted to introduce you to another button-shy solitaire game. This one is called Food Chain Island. I've had my eye on this, actually two eyes. I have two eyes. So I've had my eyes on this. I've had my eyes on this for since it was released because, you create a grid, a 4x4 grid, and one animal starts eating another animal, and the goal is to be left with one animal in the end. And this reminded me a little bit of my own puzzle card games, micro card games, 13, which was released back in, 2015, though it was designed way before that. This is 13 cards, and it's got arrows and certain information on the cards, and you remove 2 cards every turn, and the objective is to remain with 1 card in the end, preferably the 13. And then harvesting 12, which is based on 13, but it's only 12 cards. You create a grid of 12 cards, and the goal is you're going to be removing 2 cards every turn, again with arrows and and certain written information, and the goal is to remove all cards from the table, right? To save your crops, right? This comes with 18 cards for more variability, but you're only going to use 12 for each game. So when I heard of Food Chain Island, I thought, well, I'm sure I'm going to like it because it reminds me of my own 2 little games. So if you like Food Chain Island, you might want to check these 2 out. A couple of people online have said, because Harvesting 12 has been reviewed online before, not just by myself on Dual Brain Games, but on another channel, and somebody there mentioned, Harvesting 12 is Food Chain Island for vegetarians, but since Harvesting 12 came out first, I guess you could say Food Chain Island is the carnivore, version of Harvesting 12. But to be fair, and I don't want to go on and on about this, Food Chain Island has a lot more rules. It's a brain burner. It's a puzzle card game, but it has a lot more rules. In fact, a couple of the rules, people have had to go online and kind of clear up. I have played this once before, and I did not manage to win, so I'm going to play it here so you can take a look at how the game plays. And like I said, I'm sure I'm going to like it because I like puzzle card games and I like button shy games in general. So you mix these, and you have these 2 sea creatures here. They give you special abilities which will help you get out of a tight spot in the game, and you have the rules here. So let me go ahead and start. We've shuffled the cards. I don't know, let me see here on the camera how far up I can go because we need a 4x4 grid. Let me see if I can squeeze everything in here. I like the art. I like the idea of having one animal eating another animal here. So basically, that's how you're going to be eliminating cards, right? Can you see these bottom cards here? Let me see. Yeah, you can see everything. Good. So, the way this works is, actually, the rules state that if you're left with 3 or less cards, that's considered a win, right? It says right here, 1 animal left, you're ecosystem expert. 2 animals left, you're an accidental matchmaker. And 3 animals left, you're an island intern. So you're going to be eliminating cards because these animals are going to be eating each other. And hopefully, in the end, you'll be left with 3 or less cards, preferably 1 card, right? These cards will be stacking on top of each other. It is a brain burner, because not only you have to do that, but you have to pay attention to everything written on these cards, because once a predator eats a prey, you activate the predator's ability here. And you have to do it, whether you like it or not. Now, when you move, you cannot move diagonally. You can only move orthogonally, and you can only eat orthogonally, with the exception of the fox. Where's the fox here? The fox, when you, as a predator, next turn it says the predator must move diagonally to eat. Okay? But otherwise, every move has to be orthogonal. Now, sometimes certain cards, you got to move 1-2 spaces or whatever. You can move outside the frame, right? You can do this if you want. That creates a space there, right? So you can do that. You can move outside the frame in this game. So, enough yapping. Let's. I mean, again, it's a brain burner. Okay, these, believe me, these sea creatures here do help get you out of a tight spot. You have a plant here, but that is considered an animal. So when a card is activated, and it says you can remove any animal card from the grid here, you could remove that plant card. Okay, it's considered an animal. I guess it's a carnivorous plant. So as you can see on the cards here, there are specific rules on what you can eat. Right, an ant is not going to be able to eat a lion or a polar bear. The ant actually can't eat anything. Well, actually, the ant can only eat the plant. That's about it. The plant can't eat anything. And like the rat here can eat 4, 3, and 2. So always, whatever the numbers are, you can eat 3 or less. Okay? So, in this case, the polar bear could eat the gator, but then as soon as that happens, I have to activate the predator rule here, which is next turn, the polar bear cannot eat. Okay. So the polar bear could eat the gator, and then we'll just leave it at that. Okay? That could happen. The lion could eat the tiger, but then I activate the lion's ability, which is next turn, the predator must eat prey valued exactly 1 less. So if the lion ate the tiger, we would be looking for that 13 card, which is right here. Or really, when you activate, it doesn't have to be the lion. It could be any other card that's exactly 1 less. And do we have one here? No. Well, yes, the 9 could eat the 8, and then we would activate the fox, which moves diagonally, which would activate the next card to move diagonally. So it's a chain of events, right? It's a chain of events. But these 2 cards are good. It says move 1 animal to any other space. That's very helpful. And the shark says move 1 animal 1 space to eat an adjacent animal of any lower value. So it would ignore this 3 less rule, right? So what did I say? Because whatever I said was worth it. What did I say? The lion. I can move the lion here, and then the fox, because it's 1 less, could eat this. Let's just do that because, again, I could. This is a brain burner. I could talk about this for probably 30, 40 minutes. So we're gonna activate the lion here to eat the tiger, right? It can eat 13, 12, and 11. This is a 12, so it eats the tiger, and now we activate this, which says next turn the predator must eat prey valued exactly 1 less. And on the table here, the only one that's exactly 1 less would be the fox, which could eat the raccoon, which is exactly 1 number less. So we've done that so far. We've opened a couple of spaces. That's good because sometimes we'll have to move. Now let's see. Because we activated this, is next turn the predator must move diagonally to eat. So the ant could eat the plant. Okay. What else? The ant could eat the plant, and that's about it. So let's have the ant eat the plant. Now it says move 1 animal 1 to 3 spaces orthogonally, right? And you can jump animals. So if I were to move the polar bear, I could do 1, 2, 3. Okay, I could do that as long as it lands on an empty space. And again, I could land it outside the frame too, right? Because that's valuable here in this game. So because I activated the fox, oh, that already happened. So we have to activate the ant, which is move one animal 1 to 3 spaces. So what benefits us here? 1 to 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3? No. Because you can't eat diagonally. I can move the mouse 1, 2, because then the mouse could eat the spider. And then the lizard could eat the mouse, right? And then the bat could eat. Okay, we're going to do that. We're going to activate the mouse here. Move one animal. Move one animal 1 to 3 spaces. So we're going to move 2. 1 and 2. We're going to put it right here. Okay, so job done. Now, we're going to have the mouse. Oh, but then we have to move one animal 1 to 2 spaces. Well, we can do that. The mouse is going to eat the spider. Okay? So the mouse is going to eat the spider, and then I have to move an animal 1 to 2 spaces. I'm going to move this here, the snake, 1 space, because, or I can move 1, 2, let's see. I could move this 1, 2. That would be good. The gator. I don't know what's best, because then we're left with the 7 here. Oh boy, this is not going to be good though, because if I activate the gator, it says next turn, instead of moving the predator over the prey like we've been doing, you slide the prey under the predator. So if I move this here, because of this, I have to move an animal 1 or 2 spaces. I haven't done that yet. So if I move the gator here, the lion can eat the gator. And then, because of the lion's rule, the polar bear can eat... Wait. Wait, this says next turn, instead of moving... Okay, so if I move this here, the next turn would be... Okay, and then the polar bear could eat the gator. Okay. We could do that. We could move this here. That's probably better. Though that 7's going to be left. We have options here to get rid of cards or to move cards, right? So I'm going to move the gator because of this rule. Move one animal 1 or 2 spaces. So I'm going to move 1, 2. I'm going to move this right there. Then I'm going to do what I said I was going to do here, right? The lizard is going to eat the mouse. So, because the lizard ate the mouse, we have to activate the predator's ability here, which is discard any one unstacked animal. These are stacked, right? These are stacked. This is not stacked. I might get rid of this 7. I might get rid of this 7 because I'll get rid of this 7. So this is an unstacked animal. We get rid of it. It's out of the game. Fantastic. Now, because actually we would only activate the gator's ability if the gator ate something, but it just moved, right? So if the lion eats the gator, it says here, the next turn the predator must eat prey valued exactly 1 less, which would be the polar bear on top of the... so that's good. That works. So I'm going to do that. The lion is going to eat the gator. Now, for the next turn, because we activate the lion's ability, it says the predator must eat a prey valued exactly 1 less. Well, the polar bear's right there, and look at what the polar bear is eating. The polar bear is eating the lion, and that's exactly what it's going to do. Now we have to activate the polar bear's thing. It says next turn the polar bear cannot eat. Okay, so the polar bear's not going to eat because it's stuffed. It just ate a whole lion. Now we can do this, right? The bat can eat the lizard. And then we activate the bat, which says, after the bat eats, move it to any other space. So I could fly that bat over here or here so it can eat the rat. So let's do that. Let's have the bat eat the lizard. And then we're going to move the bat over here. I think. Yes. And I think we might get stuck. if the wolf eats the lynx, right? It says after the wolf eats, move it one space. If I eat there, I suppose I can move there. It doesn't really help. Wow, we're gonna be left. We may have to use these because the rat can't eat the ant. Oh no, wait, the bat can now eat the rat and then move anywhere. But it, I guess it can move somewhere to be eaten. Let's do that. Let's have the bat eat the rat. And now the bat can move anywhere. And where should we put this? Right here next to the fox, because then the fox could eat it. Let's do that. I mean, we have to be left with 3 or less, right? This moves, if this eats this, it has to move diagonally. The next predator has to move diagonally, so let's see. If the wolf eats this, it can move one space, but move it where? I guess we can move it here, but what good does that do? I'm gonna have to use one of these. Okay, so the wolf is gonna eat the lynx, and then we'll have the wolf move over here. Okay? This is what we have left. I can have the fox eat the bat, and then the next predator has to eat diagonally. But then we can use one of these to move the wolf down here so the lion can eat the wolf. Right? I think these 2 cards are going to save me. Okay, let's see. Let's have the fox eat the bat. Now, the next predator has to eat diagonally. It must move diagonally to eat, right? So there's nothing here that can be moved diagonally to eat, so I'm going to have to use one of these. Move an animal one space to eat an adjacent animal of any lower value. So I could move the fox over this way. I mean, it's just a technicality, right? So that the lion could eat it. It says move an animal one space to eat. No, that would be 2 spaces. To eat an adjacent animal of any lower value. So I suppose I can move the wolf here, and the wolf could eat the ant. So let's use the shark. Move an animal one space to eat an adjacent animal of any lower value. So we're going to move the wolf here. And then the wolf is going to, because it's any lower value, it doesn't have to respect this, eats the 3 less. So the wolf's going to eat the ant. But now we have to activate the wolf. It says, after the wolf eats, move it one space. And I suppose we will move it here. Because we can't move it on top of another animal. Now, the animals can't eat diagonally, right? So we're going to have to use the whale. Move any one animal to any other space. We may win this, let's see, or end with 1 card. To any space. So if I move to any space, I could put the wolf here. Oh, but then if I end with the polar bear cannot eat. Oh well, that's how it's going to be, I suppose. I'm going to move the wolf here. Oh, I'm sorry, the fox. I'm going to move the fox here. The wolf could eat the fox. but then it has to move one space. Oh, jeez. Oh, how can I do this? Wait, this is down here. Because I use the whale card, right? I can move this fox anywhere. Wow, and you cannot move diagonally. You got to move orthogonally. So if I move the fox here, the wolf eats it. But then it has to move one space, and then I would be left with 2 cards. So if I move it here, same thing, right? The wolf eats the fox, but then I got to move it one space, and then this is really not going to work. Because the polar bear can't eat the fox, only 3 less, right? And this is a 9, so... So with the whale, if I move the wolf here... Yeah, we're going to be left with 2 cards, right? If I understand this correctly. I'll move the wolf here. And I will have, I'm sorry, the fox. I move the fox there. And then I have the wolf, because this is the only one that can eat it, right? The wolf's going to eat the fox. And then it has to move one space. So let's just say it moves away from the polar bear. And that's it. We have no extra cards. And we're left with 2 cards in the end, which makes us an accidental matchmaker. Very cool puzzle card game. I really enjoy these type of games. Food Chain Island. What can I say? Visit Button Shy Games. Go get one.